Just give me what you have. And like I said, they're going to pass on information to me to give to you. I can only give you what they give me. If they had problems on this side expressing their heart, or expressing how they feel about things, or expressing themselves, then they're going to have the same personality on the other side. So it's real interesting then how they will communicate. So if Daddy never said he loved you, he's most likely not going to say that now. It doesn't mean he doesn't care about you, but I need you to follow this. They're going to get the same personality. Because if Daddy never said it, or if he's a hardcore guy, and all of a sudden he comes through loving and all this mushy mush, it's not going to be your daddy. Do you understand? So that personality is going to come through. It makes it really interesting for me because those who have had a hand in how they crossed, either by suicide, drinking themselves to death, whatever it is that they did, an accident maybe that was their own fault, those that have had a hand in how they died don't like to talk about it, okay? They will oftentimes not tell me how they did that. Oftentimes I can pick up that energy, though, and get that impression from them that they don't like to talk about it. They also, if they're more visual, or if they do speak, children come through very, very clearly because they love to talk. They always come through real clear. But older people sometimes don't. I get information in a way of like downloading a computer. It comes in through the top of my head. It comes in clairvoyant, clairaudient, or clairsentient, which basically means I either see pictures, I get words, or I get emotions. Now, sometimes I'll pause because in that download, I'm trying to take all this information that's coming in through the top of my head and put it in words that you can understand. So this is very important for you to know. So it's not that I'm not getting anything. Every single person here will get a reading. Every single person will get information. Okay, so I want you to know that. That's what makes this, to me, very special, so that everybody leaves with something. But that pausing is trying to get that information to you in a manner which you can understand. So I'm filtering it through what I know, through the spiritual, but also through my human mind. So I want you to understand that everything that comes through is always correct. But I need you to know that sometimes I do get it backwards. Sometimes it's completely the opposite. So I did a reading on somebody, and I kept seeing this wine glass. And I assumed that the angels wanted him to drink some wine. It might be good for his blood. He goes, oh, I can't drink wine at all. So you see, sometimes I get it completely opposite. Or sometimes I misconstrue what it is that I'm feeling or hearing or seeing. I need you to tell me if what I'm telling you makes no sense at all. Don't be embarrassed. You're not going to embarrass me. I'm going to go back in, and I'm going to say, okay, give me clarity on this so that you can get what you need. This is not an exact science, as you all know. But, man, we can sure get you some pretty good information, which is, we want to validate you. We want you to feel good when you leave here. We want you to understand that there really is life after death. The angels are working with us to bring your loved ones through to give you some peace. But remember, you may not get the information that you are looking for or the thing that you want. So please just keep an open mind. The interesting thing about when you get a personalized reading from me, I record it because there's so much information that comes through, whether you're connecting with somebody on the other side or whether you're getting an angel reading. Excuse me, my voice always gets kind of screwy down here, the dust and everything. And so, but here, please pay very close attention. When you're picked, you may get that fluttering because that's the energy that comes up, or you may feel like you're a little bit nervous. And so you may not catch everything, so try to just pay attention. I'll try not to talk too fast. If they're downloading it to me fast, I may be fast. If you need me to repeat something, I'll do my best to do that for you. That's why a lot of people have notebooks, and you know, when you're getting your reading, you may want to write some of these things down. If you decide to get a full hour reading, like I said, you'll have that recording. And what I have found is that people who get that recording really appreciate it, because when you're in that energy, when you're in this is very powerful. Is it hot in here? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh. Okay.
I turned it down.
We crank up the air.
I did.
You did? Okay. I always get hot anyway, so I can't tell. But when you're in that energy, sometimes you miss something. So that's the pleasure of getting one that's recorded. Everybody understand? So tonight, just pay attention. And if I do happen to get something wrong, I have had where I'll be doing a reading on you and somebody that you want comes through. So please pay attention to someone else as their information comes through, because that does happen sometimes if you have a more pushy personality that wants to be heard. Okay. But I enjoy this part because to me it feels that the personality really comes through. It's amazing to me that anybody can do this, let alone that I can do this, and I feel very privileged and honored to be able to do it. I need you to understand that your loved ones are with you. In that movie Ghost, where at the end he says you take the love with you, it's absolutely true. It's absolutely true. And if you're not feeling the loved one that you've lost, all you have to do is ask. Put yourself in a nice, peaceful place, sit on the couch or sit on the edge of the bed, and just ask them to come sit with you, because they're right there with you. They don't want you agonizing. They know you're lonely without them. They know you miss them. They want to help you feel good about their crossing, because the one thing I do know, it is only unconditional love on the other side. Unconditional love. And oftentimes if somebody has been sick for a long time and they give up that physical body and they get to the other side, they're so relieved to have been able to shed off that physical body. So this is very important. Let me give you a little bit of details of what happens when somebody does cross over, just to give you a little peace of mind here. A person is met by light, and they are met by angels. There is always that love and support that's on the other side, given to a soul once they decide to leave the body. Oftentimes, if there are loved ones around and there's a lot of agony around, which there usually is, they will linger for a while with you, but they always make it to the light. I have seen them just walk into the light, and I have seen tunnels. I have seen a tunnel that they walk through. When they get to the other side, they are met by the angels, they are met by loved ones, and it is always, I don't know what religion anybody is, it doesn't really matter, they are always met by unconditional love. There is no big white guy up there with a long beard, with a gavel in their hand, ready to pass judgment on a soul that crosses over. Please understand that. That is a misnomer. It is not true. The judgment that people love to talk about, the only judgment there is that the soul themselves gets to see their life, gets to do the automatic rewind, see what they learned in this lifetime, see what they need to know more about, get rid of any judgment, or help them get rid of any unforgiveness, or help them get rid of any anger, help them understand their journey in this lifetime. That's what it's about. And for each soul, the length of time is always different. So I want you to understand, there's no time on the other side. It's not how we look at things. Time being very linear for us, they could be gone for 10 years and still be in that place of still looking at their life, trying to figure out the things they needed to learn and what they accomplished in this lifetime. It could take them, a week in our time. It just depends on the soul and the individual. But they are always met by unconditional love, and they are always, always, always peaceful on the other side. They are surrounded by angels and light. Now, if you request to me someone that you want to get a hold of, and then you're going to want to know if they're with Aunt Mary, or they're with Susie, or they're with this person, or they're with the dog, or whatever, most likely, oftentimes I don't see that. I'm just focused on the person that you want to get information from. I work very closely with Archangel Michael and their angels and my angels in order to do this. We can, if you ask about that, there's a possibility we could bring them in, or all of a sudden it will show up if it comes into my awareness that this is what you want to hear. But mostly I'll be just focusing on that person, having them give me information that will validate you, so that you can feel better about what happened to you, what happened to them.